Tell us a story.
Yes, tell us a story.
All righty. It is very chilly, frosty. We're going to have to let the gopher warm up. She is really cold out here. I used to work many different jobs from a kid on up, and some I probably would like to forget. Most of them taught me things, some good things, bad things about people, society, the workforce, life. You know, it's a growing process. I worked in one of my first early jobs after high school and stuff, was working as a grocery bagger slash floor mopper, stripper, whatever, in Kroger's. I was hired in, and the job was described to me that for 4 hours a day, I would bag groceries. 3 days a week, I would work 7 at night to 7 in the morning, mopping, cleaning, prepping the floors, making sure everything was, you know, up to par for the store. And then 2 of the other nights a week, I would work from 7 to 7, stripping and re-waxing the floors, which was the really hardest part. Really harsh chemicals, big machines, so forth. We had to move everything off. So I started, and you know, it went on for the first week, first couple days bagging groceries, and then cleaning the floors at night. And then the first night of stripping the floors came, and 2 other gentlemen showed me how to, you know, move everything out of the way, prep the chemicals on the floor, run the hot steam machines over it to lift all that, then scrub it, then neutralize it, then come back and wax it, and then come back and buff it. And that all had to be done from 7 at night to 7 in the morning, because at 8 or 9 the store opened back up and was stayed open until 6 in the evening. This went for the first week, and then after the first week, the gentleman said, you know, basically, okay, now you have it, now you can do it, and if you have any problems, here's a phone number, give us a call, and we'll come back in. So I did that, and it was a horrendous job. I mean, it was very difficult to move all of the end supplies, the things that were on the end or stacked up, or cans or displays or little kiosks, things that were set up, move that from one side of the building to the other, clean that side, then move, and then get that prepped and done, and then move everything on the other side and get that prepped and done, and then move everything to where it needed to be before the customers came in. To me, it always seemed like it was like a whole crew's job instead of a one-person job. So that went on for the first 2 weeks, and then the third week, and then on the fourth week, you had to be there 90 days to be part of some type of whatever. Kroger had a union back then. This is late 60s, early 70s. Had to be part of a union then. And once you were the 30-day in, then you basically were in, and they'd have to have some really good reason to get rid of you or whatever. I mean, you were basically locked in. We'll come to the 29th day, they called me into the office and said, well, the job had been liquidated, that they'd have to let you go and stuff. And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, the job's just dissolved. That job's no longer here. And I thought, well, who's going to do the cleaning and prepping and stuff? Oh, well, that's not your concern. Here's your whatever. Thank you very much. I said, was there a problem with what I did, how I did it? Because, I mean, I worked really hard. I was very conscientious about the thing. That's the way I was taught. And, I mean, I went through like 2 pairs of work boots, because the chemicals were so harsh. They ate through these work boots, which was supposed to be made impervious to this type of whatever. They were horsehide and uppers, and then this big chemical treated or resilient lowers and all this stuff. Finally, I had to start wearing tennis shoes because they were cheaper to replace than whatever. And then, of course, my feet would blister. I lost my toenails a couple of different times because of the chemicals. Again, more chemicals absorbed into my body, I'm sure, what gives me my neurological problems and the shakiness and the whole tremor and brain seizure thing, I'm sure. But then again, how can we prove that? So they let me go, and then I had talked to some of the other people after I was gone, some of the other people that had worked there previously before me, and then was talking to some of them that were working there after me. Come to find out that the two gentlemen that would come in and teach me and then took off were actually the part of the crew that were supposed to be doing it, and they were getting paid for going to the bars and then coming back in the mornings. And I thought they were coming back into work, but what they were doing was coming from the strip clubs. And when I was a kid, we had several strip clubs in the areas here. They were going to the bars and the strip club all night long, and then coming back in the morning to meet me, and told me, okay, you did good, you can go ahead and take off, to meet the boss to say that they finished the job. I guess they had done this with many of the kids that had, first jobs or whatever and stuff like that. And it was part of their routine to run for 28 to 29 days and then let somebody go, so they didn't have to have them on full, make them get them full pay and all that. That taught me a tremendous amount, okay? I mean, I've had some jobs where I've learned from the worst people in society. I've had some jobs where I've learned from, I believe, are some really good, positive individuals in society and just in general. So, I mean, that kind of gave me an insight, and it didn't teach me not to have those problems later on where you were taken advantage of as an employee, but it gave me a little bit of insight to raise an eyebrow to stop me from getting some of them. So anyway, these guys were getting paid. I was making bare minimum, whatever it was. And it wasn't even minimum wage then, because I had to be in the 30 days to get the minimum wage. It was just amazing to me. I mean, that set a whole thing in my mind to be watchful of other things. So that's lessons learned in life and hard times, I guess. Not saying it was bad on me, because they had done it to many, many other people. They had other kids and stuff, and other individuals that have gotten those jobs and stuff. They had done it to many other people, and just the type of individuals sometimes you meet out there in the workforce or just in society in general. So, well, end of story time. Let's see if we can get her rolling here, get something where we can see, and let's ride. Like I said, I've had a lot of different jobs, and things like that have happened in some of them. Learned a tremendous amount about it. One of the biggest things was that I think back on with those type of situations and jobs and everything and problems that went on or whatever situations is why the people that knew what was going on, that seemed like really good people, never said anything to me, or that in that matter to any other people that it had happened to before me or after me. I guess is it, I don't want to get involved, I don't want to make waves, I need my job, that type of thing. I understand, but that really doesn't make for good societal moral type of thing, so that type of thing bothered me, and I guess I've had other jobs that ended like that, and I'm to the point now, basically being more or less disabled and not able to really do anything. Extremely educated and well-rounded in many different fields, but they wouldn't hire me because of my health problems anyway. I've tried. It doesn't work. But I'm really to the point where I do what I do now for volunteer service. I don't make any money, and it's very rough for me to survive and live and whatever, but I do what I want, how I want it, the right way that I know it needs to be done. Nobody can tell me nothing, and they're not going to tell me to leave or my job's been liquidated or I never need it again, because they'll never get anybody else to do what I do for nothing. That being said, I'm happy in it. All I really need is enough gas for the gopher, keep it running, pay for the insurance, things like that. That's all I need. And that really does make me happy, to be in the gopher, to be out and around. I know I've said it before, and I know people may not understand it, but I could start it up and go the 2 miles from there to here and be very pleased with the success of that. I'm very, very thankful for my ability to even be able to do that after what I've been through and in the shape my body's in. So, enough being said, getting way too deep. We're here. We're going to start our day. Have a good one. See ya.
Story time is over.
Damn, that was annoying.